Hey everyone, today I thought would rank the killers least to most annoying to face. Specifically how frustrating they are to go against as our primary objective. This will be scaling the killers on how annoying or frustrating they can be, for whatever reason. It's gonna be quite an opinionated list, I imagine. For this we have 5 tiers. Extremely annoying, I hate them, pretty annoying but bearable, neutral reaction to facing them, happy to face them, not annoying, and oh my god, it's insert killer name. Let's get into it. Starting out we have the extremely annoying I hate them tier. The most annoying killer to face in the game I think is straight up Hag. I don't think she takes that much skill, and her power is incredibly busted. This comboed with the fact that most Hags seem to camp, the small number of times that they do appear, makes me find most of them annoying to face. Her power is frustrating, and often feels uncounterable. Feeling trapped within a certain area because of her power is very annoying and frustrating and just isn't fun. Clown's power is maybe the most annoying power to face in the game. It is not fun, and does not feel fair to be hit by the cloud, and be slow and have distorted vision. It's just not nice. It's a similar thing of having your movement restricted, a lot like Hag. I think those things in general are quite annoying to go against. Spirit is a character I have never really enjoyed facing, and I think her power is also very annoying, purely as a concept. You cannot see where she is, and you have to react and pay close attention to stand a chance. For someone like me who plays very casually, I don't enjoy having to be listening for the directional sound of her phase. I just find facing her a wholly annoying experience, as I am left in a spot where guesswork is my best option. Wraith is a character I largely find annoying to face, as it seems like the majority of them love to camp and tunnel. I also find his power just quite annoying, with the ability to block you off, and the speed boost he gets after uncloaking. Stuff like that can be frustrating, I think. Dredge will follow him up. I find it extremely annoying to face. With Nightfall being a very unfun mechanic, where many maps are already dark enough in lighting, Nightfall makes the game feel very frustrating to play a lot of the time, I find, just adding to the lighting issue. Bubba is a character I find annoying to face, and it is partly down to the fact that most play in a very boring way, often camping or just sitting in the basement. It's kind of annoying when I want to just play like a regular game, but then you have to go against that. But largely he's just annoying to face. The sweep of the chainsaw doesn't feel all too skillful, which just adds to the frustration, I think. He's a very brute force character. Blight is another character I really don't enjoy facing, however skilled the Blight player is. I find his power annoying because there are so many times when hits will land and they just feel very unearned, uncounterable, or just unfair, with very little to be done about it. Moving on, we have the pretty annoying but bearable tier. Trapper I find annoying to face. Because it just doesn't feel great to be in a chase and hit a trap that you have no chance of seeing, with it being in tall grass or on the other side of a window. It's a bit more annoying too, because even compared to someone like Hag, you're not just going to lose a health state, you're going to go down completely. Trapper is bearable, however, because he is a hard character, and I can never feel too frustrated when someone has outplayed me with him. Doctor I find pretty annoying to face, with his power causing lots of screams. It can just be a bothering thing in general. Things like having to snap out of it and being blocked from doing actions at the maximum point of madness is pretty annoying to face and deal with, particularly with doctors who decide to shock a lot. Plague I used to really enjoy facing, but recently I've started to find her annoying to face. I think maybe it's because a lot of the recent slowdowns to survivors, Plague can feel even slower to face, with her power leaving you constantly injured. In general, going around constantly injured and being loud can get quite annoying. It can feel frustrating to constantly have to cleanse, or to choose to not cleanse the whole game. As a gameplay mechanic, it's pretty great, but it can also feel quite restrictive at times. And of course the worst thing ever is when you run a healing build and it's against a Plague. Ugh. Trickster is annoying to face, as his power is very focused and feels unavoidable when he is raining down blades on you, with them very hard to dodge, as there's simply so many of them. That's basically it. Nemesis is a character I find quite annoying to face too. I dislike his tentacle, and find it can feel quite inconsistent. There are also the zombies, which can be fun, but are also just very inconsistent too. I guess it's purely the inconsistency for Nemesis. It can feel annoying when things aren't so predictable, or they can act very differently from case to case. Next tier we have is the neutral reaction to facing them tier. Freddy is a killer I kind of talk badly about a lot of the time. But really, actually facing him, I'm pretty neutral on. I think he's kind of boring as a killer, but I never find him annoying to face or frustrating. He's just kinda there. Nurse is a character who I can feel a lot of different things for. If a nurse is good, I don't get annoyed really, because I know it probably took them a while to get that good. If the nurse is bad, they are usually fine to face. There is nothing annoying about Nurse, I find, as it's been well established for 6 years that she breaks the game, and there's nothing to be done about it, so I feel pretty accepting of it. When I load into a Nurse match, I just think, yep, okay, this match is gonna be different from most others, and that's okay. Huntress is a character I feel pretty neutral on. I think her power feels fair to face mostly, and playing her well takes skill, so I never feel bothered when facing her. However, there are still times when hatchets hit when they feel they shouldn't, and looping sometimes can feel kind of annoying, when you can be caught out a lot on windows or vaulting pallets, when you're stuck mid-animation. Stuff like that can be quite frustrating. Legion is a character with a fairly annoying kit to face, I think, but due to their strength and their fairly regular gameplay, there's nothing too extreme about them to find annoying, so I am pretty neutral on them. Mending can be frustrating, but by and large, they're fine to face, I think. Cenobite I am pretty neutral on. He takes a lot of skill to play, so most of his abilities that feel frustrating or annoying to face are things that don't bother me as much. Random elements to his gameplay like the box are also implemented pretty well, and facing him as Survivor you always have the advantage of finding it anyway. Repeated chain hunts and a very mean build on Cenobite though can be very frustrating too. Artist I find I am generally neutral on too. I think her power and abilities are perfectly fine, and they don't necessarily bother or annoy me. I don't find them frustrating. My face is just blank when I face her. Nothing bothers me, but nothing stands out as the opposite, or makes me happy facing them. Next, we have the happy to face them, not annoying tier. Pig is a character I don't find annoying to face, with her being quite tricky and also quite weak, and also because she doesn't appear much. I'm usually happy to see her. Her abilities all have clear indicators of use, and can be countered when they are used. The only annoying thing is the random nature of some of her gameplay, but that's pretty bearable I find. Maya's games have a tendency to always just be quite fun I find, even when you get insta-downed after being stalked for 3 seconds. Maya's players just seem fairly chilled, and never overly competitive, which makes facing them always quite pleasant, and not annoying at all. Again, a lot of that is just that Maya's is a very cool character, and he has so many different add-ons that change his playstyle, that you know you're in for something interesting at the very least. Ghostface is a character I am happy to face. His reveal at times can be frustrating, and annoying to interact with, but mostly Ghosty is quite fine, and they have a greater weighting of people who play him and like to meme around, but will also take the match seriously enough, and not just like throw it instantly. So you typically get a good game, but they're usually quite chill if they end up losing. Knight is a character I am happy to face. It's partly because they are fairly new, and I already barely see them, but also I enjoy facing things like the ghosts. It's a unique thrill having the ghost as well as the knight himself chase you. There can be frustrating or annoying points, and feeling kind of trapped, but again, he's already pretty weak and doesn't appear much, so I don't find it annoying. There's a higher tolerance for it, I guess, at the moment. As time goes on, I imagine I'll be a bit more neutral to his annoying aspects. Twins is kind of in a similar situation, where their power can be quite annoying to face. However, they barely appear, and they do have fun elements, particularly facing Victor, and the very different type of gameplay. With all their ridiculous slowdowns, I tend to not get annoyed too, and just feel kind of bad for them. Wesker I'm gonna put here too. I think Wesker is one of the better and healthier additions to the game as of recent. and his gameplay feels fair to face. There is nothing that ever feels annoying or unfair about his power. It can be countered, and it has its downsides as well as strengths. Overall, he isn't annoying. Maybe aside the voice lines. Hillbilly is a character I don't find annoying to face. He's really weak at the moment, and his power is very fair. You know what you're in for when facing a Billy, I feel. There's nothing that throws you off or feels unfair. No annoying mechanics or elements to his power. If a Billy downs me, I just think, okay, good job. Deathslinger and Executioner have similar-ish ranged powers, and are both in the same kind of area of annoyance, I find. But with their slowdowns now, they're nowhere near as bad as they used to be, and I don't really get annoyed when facing them. Their powers are signaled well, and you can predict movement and such to an extent, but they can be frustrating at times, and getting hit can feel annoying, particularly around windows and such. Both have good tools that allow them to do things like tunnel quite easily, which can make them annoying to face. Mostly though, they feel fair and earned, and I like them. Finally we have, oh my god, it's insert killer name tier. Sadako is a character who doesn't appear very often, but I find nothing annoying about her kit, and I think she's largely enjoyable to face. She's a tough character due to her being fairly weak, and I don't think I've ever found a Sadako annoying. Fun abilities, perfectly counterable, and never really frustrating. Oni is the closest killer I have to a main, and I personally really enjoy facing him. I like his power and I think it's quite fair. When I get downed by an Oni, I'm usually like, yep, okay, that's fair enough. Everything is signaled well, and there's plenty of counters I find. Demo is a rare sight nowadays, and when they appear, even if they tunnel me, I can't find them annoying. Alright, well, that's gonna do it. I do hope you enjoyed, and let me know who the most annoying character to face is for you. Thanks, and goodbye.